Okay, welcome back to Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer here on 88.3 WXOU. Last week, we talked about the Lions heading into Cleveland to play for that trophy.
Yeah.
The Great Lakes Invitational or whatever. Very disappointing from the Lions. Followed up their, what I thought was a pretty solid performance against the Jets at home, with a abysmal performance on the road in Cleveland. Nobody really looked good. Akers, maybe, I guess you could say, because he's the only guy who scored. So they lose 24-6. The first team offense is still without a touchdown in preseason action. So we mentioned on our last show that Calvin Johnson wasn't going to be able to play in the game because of a bruised knee, and that was on full display early and often when watching the first team offense play against the Browns. And I saw one guy on Twitter say that the Browns have an elite defense, which I don't see at all. They have Joe Hayden, who's a good corner, but other than that, I mean, I wouldn't say the Browns have an elite defense. Maybe a good defense, but definitely not elite. This isn't the Ravens. So very disappointing. Even the defense didn't look that great. Ansa was okay in my mind, but when it came down to it, I didn't think anybody helped themselves at all in the game, and that was really disappointing, especially coming off the victory against the Jets.
Unfortunately, the guy who looked really good in that game was Trent Richardson.
And Brandon Whedon.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, there was no aspect, offense, defense, special teams. Nobody looked good. And I don't really care about the score. It was 24-6 at the end, right?
Right.
But when they were losing like 17-3 at halftime or something, and the Lions barely got the field goal like at the end of the half, it just was really disappointing. And I know they it's on local TV, Channel 7. They Tom Lyon did an interview with Jim Schwartz as he's like coming off the field, which is kind of rare for NFL coaches. It kind of happens. It's common in like college, right? But pro, they don't do it as much. But since it's preseason, they treat it a little differently. And Jim Schwartz looked he just was so angry. And he gave him like a one-word answer and left. And some players were talking to media, and they said they got like chewed out in the locker room. And it wasn't even the fact that you could be down 17-3 at halftime, maybe, a couple fluke plays, or maybe Stafford puts on the baseball cap early, but Stafford played well into the second quarter, but that's because the Browns had these like long, methodical drives. Whedon was big, and Whedon, when his two touchdowns, especially the second one, wide open tight end. Back then, the same guy, some young guy. And man, you listen to some of the Browns radio and people. I'm a big Steelers fan. They're the division team. You thought their new coach, who I can't even pronounce his name, he's like the second coming of Paul Brown. They are destined to win the division. This is their year. Brandon Whedon was the right pick. Trent Richardson is literally the next Jim Brown. And they looked awesome against the Lions. And you're absolutely right. We were at that Jets game, the opener. The team looked, on offense, they looked a little shaky, but they didn't look bad. I would say maybe a lone bright spot, but a bright spot, and we were watching this game together on the TV, one that you maybe didn't want to see was Reggie Bush looked pretty decent. But that's because on one drive, he literally got the ball like 7-8 straight times, and he took a one hit where he like went up and right on his knee and kind of flipped up, and that's not something you want to see at all, but ever in the preseason. You don't want your...
And I mentioned that because he kind of like tumbled in the air, and then his leg got hit.
Right knee, helmet went right on the knee.
Right, and that's like you said, it's not something that you want to see, but
he looked all right. I mean, it's all the we watched the majority of the game, but all the highlight packages were just the same two plays, and it was Reggie Bush making a spin move and gaining an extra 6-7 yards and a David Akers field goal. That was it.
Although Kickalicious did score. I was wrong on that.
Yes.
So both Akers and Kickalicious had a field goal. So Kickalicious Watch 2013 is still in effect.
Yes, absolutely.
Going into tomorrow's game. But Matt Stafford finished 11 for 16, which isn't terrible. Like 2/3 of your passes complete. And then 74 yards, but he averaged 4.6 yards per pass.
It's because half of his pass. I mean, how many receptions did Reggie Bush have?
5.
Exactly. That was half. He had 11 completions. Half of those were dump offs to Reggie Bush.
Right. Right.
The stats speak for themselves there.
And
that's why
one of the things that we looked for going into the game was, I said, I'm glad Calvin Johnson isn't playing because now Stafford will spread the ball around more. He didn't. He passed it to Reggie Bush 5 times instead of Calvin 5 times.
We recorded our show on a Thursday. The game was on the Thursday. We watched it later that night, and we both said that it came out. Not the news broke that Calvin wasn't going to be playing, and it was kind of known. It was kind of known that he wasn't going to play. He has a bruised knee, and like I said, I'm absolutely fine if the first snap Calvin has is not till week 1. That is perfectly fine.
Right.
He has nothing to prove. It kind of goes with in a different light, but it kind of goes. I would make the same argument. We were talking earlier with Miguel Cabrera. Nothing to prove. Rest him for when it counts. Now, hopefully the Lions can make the playoffs. They should rest Calvin for the playoffs. But no, absolutely. But I agreed with you. I was kind of excited to see what Stafford could do without Calvin. And I know I said this in our little show prep before. Honestly, I think it proved that Calvin is the most important aspect of that offense. They couldn't do anything without him.
I still disagree with you.
I know that you argue Stafford, but Stafford, they had their first 4 drives were 3 and outs, and they didn't get their first down till late in the second quarter. Well, Calvin brings that first heat, they have to shade the safety over. You have to double team them. Opens up the run game, all that. Because
the thing that I would say is that the Lions always start slow, even the past 2 years. Even in the regular season,
I would agree, but
they're good at the comebacks. They're good at playing in the fourth quarter, but they can't play in the first quarter. And we haven't seen, or the last time we saw the Lions play without Matthew Stafford, they didn't look good. So I would argue that they're either equal or Stafford's a little bit more important because. Yes, Calvin Johnson is extremely important, and Calvin Johnson makes everybody better. Reggie Bush's job is easier when Calvin Johnson's playing. It spreads the field more, it's a bigger threat, and everything goes smoother when Calvin Johnson's in the lineup. But I would argue the same thing, that Calvin Johnson's job is easier when Matthew Stafford's playing or when Reggie Bush is playing.
Instead of going 3 and out, and we saw it in the Jets game, all of a sudden a 22-yard pass to Calvin sets you up for a drive. It could be 3rd down.
Okay, so
pass, then another pass to Calvin. All of a sudden you're halfway down the field.
So answer me this: say Calvin plays, but Sean Hill starts. Is it better or worse or the same?
You mean? What, is like Stafford hurt? Like, what are we talking about here?
No, week 17, you have to win to go to the playoffs. Would you rather have Stafford play and Calvin not, or Calvin play and Stafford not? Week 17, you're going to the playoffs if you win. That's how you determine who's more important to your team.
I understand.
I would take Stafford over Calvin. And I can honestly say that. Not that I think Calvin's not important to the team, but I think that is how you gauge it.
You just asked me that, and I'm like saying anything about. When you thought about that, was it immediately just Stafford? Like,
yes.
See, for me, for me, it's not that as quick fire of an answer. It's not just like, and that's not to downplay Stafford's ability or upplay Calvin's tremendous ability, but I think you saw that Calvin's crucial to the offense. Just Stafford is as well. Like it's kind of like it's a catch. I understand, but I don't know. I think that. You did have Stafford, and you didn't have Calvin, and Joe Hayden, who's a terrific corner for the Browns, shut down whoever, Broyles or Burleson or whatever, and you weren't able to get a first down for a quarter and a half.
This would be my other question. Do you go 0-16 if Stafford's your quarterback? No, you don't. You went 0-16 with Calvin on your team.
Yeah.
Granted, it was his rookie year, but would I take Stafford as a rookie? Would they go 0-16? And I would say no. That's the same argument that gets made of whether you would rather have Adrian Peterson.
I understand, but I don't know. I just think that Calvin, he makes that. They both do, It's not.
But that's what I always say.
I understand.
They make each other. Joe Montana wouldn't be Joe Montana if Jerry Rice didn't play with him. Just like Jerry Rice wouldn't be Jerry Rice if he didn't play with Joe Montana. Mm-hmm. It's the same. And a quarterback-wide receiver relationship is completely give and take. They both need each other because that's how the game's played. It's not a running back. This isn't Jim Brown who can just do it by himself. So, I mean, I would say Stafford's more important. If you say Calvin, that's fine. but I would argue that they are equals at the very least, if not Stafford being more important. So, yes, they take Calvin out and they look bad against the Browns, but they are running a vanilla offense just like every team in the league, and nobody played well.
Right. Because my next point would be that vanilla offense for the Browns was just vanilla ice cream sliding through that Lions defense,
yeah.
Yeah, those big boys in Sue and Fairley, they couldn't do anything to stop it. It was, and I know Ansa had that big play, and we're talking, you can't make a bigger play than a pick six on your first drive.
Right.
He didn't look very good. Now I will say it is encouraging to see. It's kind of another catch-22. It's encouraging to see Ansa making tackles 8, 9, 10 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
That he's that athletic. But I'd rather see him making tackles 8, 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right. But I mean, it's preseason, and if Ansa makes tackles, I'm cool with that.
No, I understand.
So especially in the preseason. So there's that, and the other thing I would say is we talked about nobody really helped themselves. The other guy I would say that didn't hurt himself is Bill Bentley, because I thought Bill Bentley played really bad in the first game. He had that play where he slipped and they completed a pass. But I thought he was better in the second game than in the first game, and that's one of the very, very, very few guys that you could say that about. But
Ron L. Lewis looked good late in the game if you're carrying.
That was big plays. But now, second preseason game's over, so we're halfway through. Maybe someday this would have been the last, and the regular season would start this week. With Roger Goodell's 18-game schedule, but we're going into the third preseason game, the most important preseason game, where I expect Stafford to take like 25 to 30 snaps, which is like half the game.
Oh, at least, he should play. He'll be playing probably at least the first two quarters, if not into the third. He'll be still in pads and everything.
The Lions ran 60 plays versus the Browns. So if they ran 60 plays versus the Patriots, I would expect them to take 25 to 30 of the snaps.
At least, if not like 40. At least.
Wow.
Absolutely. He should be playing into the third quarter.
It depends on how well the offense starts.
I would agree.
And, I mean, he could play to the fourth quarter. I don't know. Maybe not into it, but like up to the fourth quarter if they didn't play
after
well.
After the game, before in August 26th, you have to make your cuts down to 75. So you might see maybe like Sean Hill might not take a snap at all, and you might see
Kellen Moore and Thaddeus Lewis
take some snaps.
But yeah, going into the third preseason game, we'll get to see Tebow come to town and Tom Brady.
Yep.
The Patriots are coming in, and this is the last home game before the regular season opener against the Vikings on September 8th. So, this is the most important preseason game for every team, the third one, and I'm excited for it, and we're going to go once again.
Right, I was going to say, the Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer will be doing a live remote broadcast, sans microphones, in the stands.
That's right.
At the game. So,
and if you want to talk to us, you can talk to us on Twitter at Austin Puckett and at Timothy_Pontzer. That is a double trouble on the Twitter handle drops on this show.
If you feel like talking to us there, we'll be there, standing in the long line, having our clear Ziploc bag search.
Tim, you can't bring your purse.
Exactly.
So.
I'm gonna stand an hour-long wait on Brush Street. There,
we're gonna have to get there a little early. In case you wanted to know our travel plans, we're gonna get there earlier this week. But Tom Brady will play. I don't think he'll play as long as Stafford does. I would expect him like 20 to 25.
Proven quarterback, and you talk about someone being proven and not need to show anything, and someone who runs vanilla offenses. Check for the New England Patriots.
Right. But it'll be a good opportunity to display your whatever you have, I guess, against a good team. And I remember this was years ago, but they had the third preseason game against the Patriots, and it was like a Sunday night football game.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember getting extremely excited because the Lions had never played that I could remember on like a night game, and they played and they got absolutely destroyed. But that's a different story.
I do remember that game.
Yeah, but what are you looking for besides Kickalicious Watch 2013? That's a new hashtag Kickalicious Watch. What are you looking for in the third preseason game?
To be honest, I am once again going to be looking at the defense. I said this in the last show. Really looking at that secondary. You talk about you were talking about a guy who maybe impressed you with Bill Bentley. For me, I still haven't really been impressed by him. Delmas is supposed to play this game. He is not really. He has barely practiced, and he has not played yet this preseason.
Right.
Interested to see how he does with these new corners, with Slay. Excuse me, the new safeties and corners. They just signed Rasheed Mathis, the longtime Jaguars corner, a longtime Steeler killer. For a long time,
Thanks, Tim.
I'm just saying, for as long as I distinctly remember a Tommy Maddox pick six.
Oh
to win
my
a game.
gosh!
But after that Cleveland game, they signed 2 defensive tackles, a linebacker in Rocky McIntosh, former Bronco and Redskin, and then Rasheed Mathis. They addressed every level of that defense, and I think it was Jim Schwartz kind of sending a message saying, "Look, no spot is guaranteed, and you need to step up."
Okay, so do you view that as being a positive or a negative that they signed those guys?
Honestly, I think it's a positive that the Lions are constantly tinkering with this roster.
1,000% agree.
It doesn't, I guess you could argue and say, well, this means that the Lions don't have enough talent, or
they aren't comfortable with their roster.
Yeah, but to be sitting there constantly tinkering, this isn't the Detroit Tigers sitting in September. You're not bringing up September call-ups or anything. That's not what you're doing. And I don't expect, the Tigers kind of have a lineup set. The Lions do not have a lineup set. The Lions had a extremely disappointing season last year. Everybody points to 2 years ago, and whether that was a mirage or last year was just kind of a fluke, but even that roster 2 years ago, a lot of those pieces aren't here anymore. A lot of big producers from that team, even guys like Titus Young, he played well, but he obviously is gone. You had some guys on defense, Vanden Bosch and Cliff Averill. They're no longer here. You need guys to step up. I really hope that it'd be really nice to see Delmas play well. Now, I don't expect him to get a pick six or an interception, but I'd like to see him be knowledgeable, know what he's doing, and I'd like to see some good chemistry with other defenders, because I would argue outside of a quarterback and receiver, defensive secondary chemistry is one of the most important things in football in terms of player chemistry. You got to know where players are, and sometimes you can have more freedom with safeties or with corners, and you can leave them out on Revis Island, or Palomalu can do whatever he wants.
Right.
But the Lions aren't really like that. You don't have a guy. They need to work as a unit. You have a lot of new faces in there, and it would not surprise me if Mathis gets snaps with the first teamers, in the
because he's so experienced.
Exactly.
In my mind, I think that most of the spots are pretty much set at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have Chris Houston is one of your starters. Slay, I think, is one of your starters, and then Bentley's your nickel guy at this point. And then I do think that Mathis will get.
I think he could push Bentley out. I think he could.
Yeah,
he
and
could
that's a good thing. You want that competition. Absolutely. And then maybe Bentley pushes Slay. That all works for itself.
It doesn't hurt when they're tinkering with these guys. I read something on Pro Football Talk that in the past, since the end of the first preseason game, the Lions lead the league with the most signings off the street and off waivers. They had the Carolina Panthers had 6, and then the Lions had 9 or 10. And you could say, oh well, that means that they're not confident in their roster, or they don't have enough talent, or they don't draft well, or they've lost too much. But that doesn't bother me. And you agreed. You said you agreed 1,000%. I am encouraged to see that they are actively trying to improve this roster up till the very end.
Right. But in terms of who to watch, like I said, corners I think are pretty much set. You have your top 4 guys. One of them you just signed, but that's fair enough.
Right. This isn't the Lions. Even last year, week 12 they signed a corner, and he is playing.
Right. Exactly. You're adding depth, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Your safeties are pretty much set. Delmas, if he can play, he's in there.
He's kind of a big question mark, but I want to see what he can do.
Right, but I mean, if he's healthy, he's going to start.
I would agree.
Glover Quinn, he's your starter. If Delmas can't play, Chris Hope can play.
I'm sorry, who's the other safety they have?
I can't think of his name yet. I've been trying to think of it, but Chris
Don
Hope.
Carey or something?
Don Carey, that's who it is.
He's terrible. He's been absolutely
okay,
terrible.
Don Carey or Chris Hope, who's
former
a veteran. Oh my gosh. Your linebackers. Tulloch is your middle linebacker. That's not for debate. Justin Durant left. But you have DeAndre Levy, who's one of your outside linebackers, and then Ashley Palmer will play, along with Tahir Whitehead and Ronald Lewis.
Really looked that good.
Ronald Lewis
looked good.
Those guys will get playing time also. Your line, everything's pretty much set. You
line's
have
the strongest position.
Sue and Fairley, and then Ansa. The only spot really open is like that left end spot, which is between
Willie,
like Adonijay, who hasn't been active. Willie Young has played pretty well, and then your 4th-round pick out of South Carolina, who I can't remember his name right now. The guy who was playing on the kickoff coverage we talked about last week. Then offensive line, pretty much set. The only thing you're really worried about is your right tackle. Riley Reif's going to play left tackle. Obviously, you have Raiola. And then Warford will play right guard. Peterman left.
From Kentucky. Warfield.
Yeah, Warford's playing right guard, and then your left guard set too. I can't remember his name. Bush is your running back. Calvin and Burleson and Broyles, Stafford. It's all pretty much set. The thing I'm looking at is wide receivers.
Devin Taylor,
right. He's the guy that's in a position battle with the left end. But the thing I'm looking at is the 5th receiver. Because you have
Corey Fuller, the 6th-round pick.
Right. You have, obviously Calvin and Burleson and Broyles. That's your top 3. That's a given. Your 4th guy has really come to be Patrick Edwards, who has gotten snaps with the first team. He started in place of Calvin Johnson. So he's been there. You have Matt Willis, who could be the 5th guy, but he did nothing last week.
He had
made
great game against Jets.
Big splash against the Jets, but did nothing.
Touchdown,
And then you have a 6th-round pick in Corey Fuller. You have the local kid Cody Wilson, who made his first catch last week.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a shell favorite.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, you have these guys competing. They just cut Mike Thomas, who they traded something for last year, and they were paying $1 million to. He got signed the next day by the Cardinals, and they still owe him $250,000 if he makes the team.
I'd like to be still owed $250,000.
Right. But they cut him. But I'm really looking for who is going to be that 5th receiver there, because you have a lot of young guys, a lot of slot guys, because Willis, Wilson, Fuller, they're all small, speedster,
Fuller
quick.
He was like a track star. He's so
right,
fast.
right. But they're all little guys that, you want good hands, and there are things that you want in your 5th receiver. But the interesting thing is that none of them play special teams, which I don't know how you can make the roster without playing special teams, but none of them do.
Right, return guys.
Which
is Spurlock guy.
Right, that's the other, right. Spurlock, and he's a returner, but he's not really a receiver. So that's the thing I'm looking at is the 5th receiver, because you have guys that are like better receivers, but they aren't return guys, and one return guy that's not really a receiver.
And then one thing I would add, and I think we've talked about this honestly for 3 straight shows, is your special teams battle, and we talked about Kickalicious and Akers. And I think when you come down to that 3rd preseason game and you have to get down to 75 cuts, I think this might be it, because they'll cut one because you don't want to hold on to a 4th. You want to
I don't know
spots on.
I don't know why the other punter's still here.
Well,
Sam Martin,
I will
he
say
was a 5th-round pick. He's going to make the
looked
team.
good in the Jets game. I will say that Sam Martin had one really bad punt against Cleveland, and then so.
And even,
but
the other guy did too.
Right.
There's no way they're going to cut Sam Martin.
I would agree.
So they should just get rid of the other guy.
You talk about things you want to see. I would really like to see Sam Martin prove to me why the heck he was a 5th-round pick.
Right, out of Appalachian State.
Not that he has to be, some 80-yard punt, but I'd really like to see something better than he had like a 21-yard shank against Cleveland, and then he followed that up with one where he just like a line drive to the return guy, and he got like a 30-yard return.
Right.
It's not what you want to see from your punter.
Right. And yeah, like I said, I don't understand why that other punter is still on the roster.
Well, I would expect, like I said, usually it depends, but when you have to get down to 75, teams find it easier to just cut those guys, get rid of them, because that 4th one, you're looking at depth and work. You talk about those receivers. A lot of those will probably make the cut to the 4th game, because then that's Stafford and the company doesn't play in the 4th.
Right, at least like half of them.
Right, that's why I'm excited to go tomorrow. This will be once again another Lions game. We've been down so far all year. I don't think I'll continue that.
We basically have season tickets. Thanks, StubHub.
Exactly. But the reason is I'm glad this isn't like the 4th game, because the 4th game, we
means nothing.
As geeks who know who the heck Michael Spurlock is, might be a little excited, but there's only so much you can be excited to see. Theo Riddick taking handoffs. Like that's
another return guy.
Exactly. I'm more interested to see these starters. I'm really excited to see Delmas, because he's a guy who I know you're a big fan of. I would really like to like him, but he just never can stay on the field. People, you talk about he's this young, hard-hitting safety, and that's all well and good, but, you stay on the field, bud, to be playing well. So
I just want to publicly apologize to our listeners. The left guard is Rob Sims, who...
How do you forget that?
I don't know.
Wow. I'd like to apologize to Rob Sims. He's a listener.
He is... he's an avid member of this show, and I just want to apologize that I forgot his name. I'm not even a Lions fan. I don't even know.
We're coming to the end of the show. I was watching some of the Sunday night game the other day, and Gosder Cherilus was playing for the Colts, and he went to he tried to do a pole block, and he tripped over himself, and he fell down. And I forget who the running back is. That Donald Brown guy is their starter. He tripped over Cherilus. So Cherilus basically tackled his own man 3 yards in the backfield, and it just made me laugh that the Colts gave Gosder Cherilus a big free agent deal. So I just thought I would add that to the show.
Wow, that was great. I just want to thank you for doing that. But you said, I mentioned that I shouldn't even be a Lions fan because I forgot Robson's name. But I saw an article about different types of Lions fans. So I can't find the article now, but I heard some people talking about it today.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go off memory of what I can remember some of the types were. So there was the unrealistic fan, yes, who is basically just delusional. A homer. Right, delusional. Right. There was a homer fan.
They're kind of the same.
Right. They're kind of the same but different. Right, I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say that. But that is a great saying.
There's the fans that grew up as Lions fans and then as a kid they were diehards, and I could honestly maybe see you becoming this where you come back, but then if they continue to suck for so long, now they actively make it known when they cheer against the Lions and mock other Lions fans.
Yes, that was another one.
Another vein where there are Lions fans that will not cheer for their team until they are not owned by the Ford family anymore.
Right. So those are the 4 or 5 different kinds. So Tim, what do you think what type of Lions fan am I?
Well,
do you think I'm unrealistic, pessimistic? Won't be a fan again until the Fords are gone, which that one's pretty much out. What was the other one? I can't even think of it. I don't know. But do you think that I'm more realistic, pessimistic, or realistic about the Lions?
I tend to believe you're fairly realistic in your. This would be an interesting question if we were talking about the green and white.
If I could find the article,
I know when we were both younger, before you became a diehard Golden Grizzly, you were a big Spartan supporter, and at times you could be overly optimistic about guys I had never heard of. Not to the level of Michigan fans getting excited about 2018 recruit guys, but you would just be all fired up about guys who are going to be the next great receiver, next Charles Rogers or whatever. However, for the Lions, you can be fairly realistic. Now, you can be a little homer when your guys are your guys, and that many fans fall victim. That's what I'd say. I think you're realistic, but if a guy for your team does well, you will instantly become a fan. And if the same guy for a different team did that, you won't point out his accomplishment.
I would classify myself as being vocally realistic, but mentally homer.
That's a good point.
That's because in my head I'm they're gonna beat the Packers. Right. They're gonna do this. But then if I come on this radio show, our radio program, an extravaganza here on 88.3 WXOU, I will tame my inner excitement. I'll be well, Rodgers is very good, and I have the ability to do that, but in my mind I'm still kind of a kid at heart, watching my team, and I'm thinking, maybe Sue will, hurt Rodgers, and then they'll win, and blah blah blah.
Like I said, you're when we talk on the show, you're listening, but then when I watch the games with you, you can turn into. But then you will also, and depending on which team we're cheering for. Tigers, I've seen you throw things, get mad, storm out, whether it's Wings or Spartans or
see, that's the other thing, and we talked about this before, and there was another article about how you react when your team loses.
Yes.
And I am very much the completely shut down.
I am happy the next day. Roethlisberger's nearly dead.
If my team loses at the end, I will not talk to anybody.
That's the way
I just shut down.
You storm out of the room. But that is probably the end of our show.
Yeah,
that
was a nice little self-examination, little therapy session.
Cabrera had 3 RBIs tonight. Just won final. Tigers won 7-1. Drew Smiley improved to 5-0 on the year. So it's a great little.
Another fan favorite of the show.
Absolutely. Put a smile on my face.
That show being Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer here on 88.3 WXOU. We hope that you go on Facebook and like our Facebook page, Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer. One more time, we're going to give you our Twitter handles and invite you to talk sports with us on Twitter. At Austin Puckett is myself, and that over there, my co-host, is at Timothy_Pontzer. You can access our YouTube account through that Facebook page that I just gave you the name of, and listen to our past shows, and you can hear me belligerently say that the Tigers would win the division by September 1st, which probably is not going to happen anymore. And you can hear Tim make some wrong predictions earlier, too, that he won't admit. And that's our show. So we hope you come back and listen next week, and we promise that it won't be a therapy session like the end of this show. This is Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer here on 88.3 WXOU.